All right then, so this is my first math quiz review walkthrough. So let's get started. So this first one, the derivative of a log is basically du over natural log of a times u. So in this case, it's going to be the du of x, or the derivative of x, is 1 over the natural log of 4 times x, and that's our answer. Now, number two is kind of easy. So the derivative of a, it's basically going to be natural log of a times du, au times du. So it's going to be natural log 7 times 7 to the x, and in this case, the derivative of x is basically 1. So it really doesn't matter. So it's just natural log 7 times 7x. Now, question number 3 is basically secant, but you also have to keep in mind you're getting the derivative of this whole thing. So the way I like to remember it, I'm Gujarati, and I like to know it as seku times tane, or tan u, times du. So it's basically going to be secant, parentheses 7x plus 1, times tan, parentheses 7x plus 1, times the derivative of 7x plus 1 is basically just going to be 7, which you could move it to the front if you would like. If not, that's also fine. Now, the cotan, if it's cotan, cosine, or cosecant, they all have a negative. So it's going to be negative. And then if it's cotan, another way you remember is coat in a closet. So it's going to be negative cosecant squared u times du. So in this case, it's basically going to be cosecant squared parentheses x squared times the derivative of x squared is basically 2x, and that's our answer. Okay, number 5. Now here we're gonna use the product rule, so I'm gonna use colors so it helps you guys. Right, so now this first part, I'm gonna take the derivative of this first part, which is basically gonna be negative 3x squared plus 2 times cosine x. Now it's going to be plus the derivative of cosine x is basically negative sine x times the derivative of x, which is just 1, times just this whole yellow equation. That's going to be negative x to the third plus 2x parentheses. Now I'm just going to combine it here. All right, and that's our answer. And don't forget to write f of derivative x. I didn't do it, but just go back and write that down. And here, this is going to be our quotient rule. So we're going to get our low high, which is basically going to be e5x times the derivative of sine x is cosine x times du, and the derivative of x is just 1. So I'm not going to write it now. And then we're going to do minus the derivative of e of 5x is basically going to be e is eu. So it's, in this case, it's going to be e5x times du. And the derivative of 5x is 5. I'm just going to put this parentheses, and then it's going to be sine x. And now, and all of this is going to be over e to the 5x, it's going to be all squared. So now here, I'm just going to combine everything to make it look nice. Sin x, actually, I would move the 5 here, then do e 5x, and then do sin x. And all over, in this case, I think we could just leave it like this. It's weird, right? And I see that my e to the 5x cancels. It could cancel here, here, and here. So now our final equation is going to be cosine x minus 5 sine x over just e 5x. Number 7. Here we're going to do product rule again. 3 to the x is basically natural log. It's going to be natural log of a, which is 3 times 3x times 1, but I'm not going to put the 1. Now we're going to go into, just write this down, 2x plus 1, and then it's going to be plus the derivative of this second portion, the 2x plus 1, is basically just going to be 2x. It's going to be 2, actually, it's just going to be 2 times 3x. And now, just combining it all. Let's see. I think you could 3x natural log 3 parentheses 2x plus 1 plus 6x. And then since we have only a few more, once I get to number 12, I'll go over them and check the answer key to make sure. And if not, I'll redo a problem. Number 8. So here, there's 2 parts to this. Here, I'll highlight it to show you. This part, the one that I'm highlighting, that's where we're going to do the product rule. And this portion's just going to be our normal derivative. So, let's do that. So, the derivative of x to the third, or, is basically going to be, it's basically saying it's x to the third, it's saying x to the power of 3 over 2. So, I'm going to bring that to the front, times x to 1/2, because I had to subtract a 1. And now here, I just like to put in parentheses, and then you could always distribute the parentheses at the end. But now I'm just going to do my product rule. And so that's going to be 6x, secant x, that stays the same. That's going to be plus secant x is equal to secant x times tan x, and then just 3x squared. Now I'm just gonna simplify it all. Over 2 minus 6x secant x, and it's going to be a subtraction because I got to distribute that negative. So that's going to be secant x. Actually, I'll move the 3x squared to the front. 10x, there we go. And that should be our answer. Now, number 9. Similarly, with number 9, when we take the derivative, this negative 3 is going to get canceled. So, we're only looking at this second portion. We're only looking at this portion. So now, it's basically quotient rule. So, we're going to do low, high, low DL, low DH. So, that's going to be cotan x, parentheses, 2x, minus the cotangent is basically minus CS cosecant squared x, and then parentheses x squared plus 1. Wait, I might the orders I did the order incorrectly. Just a second. It's the same thing, but there we go. Now it's perfect. And then all of this is going to be over cotangent squared. So now I'm just going to combine it all. Don't forget to write the f derivative. Now here I'm just going to do, this one's just going to be 2x cotangent x minus, it's going to be plus cosecant squared x, parentheses x squared plus 1, all over cotangent squared. Okay, 3 more and then we can check. Okay, this one. Similarly, this one is going to have 2 parts. This, we're just going to take the derivative of that, and then this is basically product rule. So this is basically saying it's 2 x to the negative third, right? So when you take the derivative, that's going to equal negative 6x to the negative 4. Oh, my bad. And then we're just going to take our product rule here. And our first portion's this. Second portion's that. So, all right. And I just like to put parentheses. Let's do this. 5x. My apologies. It's the other way. This and this. So in that case, 5x, that's just 5. Log 2, 3x. And all of this is going to be plus the derivative of log base 2 to the 3x is a du, which is going to be 3. I'm going to need space. 3 over natural log of 2 times 3x. And don't forget that 5x. Alright, so now I'm just going to combine it. That's going to be negative 6 over x to the 4th plus 5 log base 2, 3x plus 15, because 3 times 5x, 15x over natural log of 2 times 3x. Okay. And that's our answer. Now, this one, similarly, there's 2 parts. The first part is, this is basically saying it's x to the power of 2 over 5. Right? So, taking the derivative of that is basically going to be bringing that to the front, multiplying that by coefficient, which is 1, 2/5, and then subtracting 1, which would be 5 over 5. And that gives us x, negative 3 over 5. Now, plus, this is a quotient rule. So it's going to be 5x times e to the x, which is just e to the x times du, which is in this case 1, minus, it's going to be e to the x, and the derivative of the bottom is just 5, all over 5x squared, or 25x squared. Actually, yeah, 25x squared. And then now I'm just going to simplify all of this, which is going to be 2, 5, this is going to be x to the 3rd, 5th, plus, let's see, in this case, your 25, 5, and this 5, they're all going to reduce. So we're going to get e to the x minus e to the x over 5x squared. And that's your answer. Okay, number 12. This is just a simple quotient rule. Low DH, which is going to be 4x minus 1, parentheses, because this is a whole term. Now I'm going to multiply that by cosecant, which is going to be negative. Cosecant 2x times cotan 2x times the derivative of 2x, which is just 2. Subtract that. Here, let me just quickly move this 2 right there. Minus. Here, it's just going to be minus. Yeah, minus cosecant 2x. And then the derivative of the bottom is basically just 4. Okay, so all over, can't forget that, all over 4x minus 1 squared. All right now, so the 4x minus 1, looks like, nothing's gonna cancel, so I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. But let's see what the answer key says in a second. After I write my I might pull that 2 to the front. 2x cotan 2x parentheses minus 4 cosecant 2x. And that's going to be all over parentheses 4x minus 1 squared. Don't forget to write that down. Now let's compare. I have it ready. Let me just pull it up. Okay. Let's see how we did. So, we always got the first one correct. Having that x there really shouldn't matter. Here, let me put the having that x there really shouldn't matter. Number 2, yeah, 7x times the natural log of 7. Perfect. Let's just take a look at the bottom one since we're already here. Times 2x, perfect. That's fine. I really don't think the order should matter. Okay, let's move to number 3. I think we'll just go in the zigzag pattern. 7x, tan 7x. Yep, number 3 is also right. So far, 4 out of 4. Let's take a look. I think this, okay. Negative 3x squared plus 2, that's fine. Times, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so right here, we made a small mistake. Or did we? I think there might be an error on the answer key. Because technically speaking, that cosine equates to a negative sign. Yeah, there's a mistake on the answer key. Yep, that negative should be there since this cosine equates to sine x. Negative sine x. So therefore, our answer is, wait. How did they do this? Okay. Give me a second. I think what they did was play around with the negative here, trying to move it out, therefore to make this positive, which caused this to become negative. So therefore, our answer is correct. It's just a different order. Number 6, cosine x minus 5x. Yep, that one's also fine. How about this? I'll start this and get back to you guys. Number 7. Where's number 7? There we go. 2 times 3x. Well, technically, you should be able to. I'll check in and let you guys know. And 3x. Yeah, that one's also fine, even though the order's messed up. That should be fine. Number 8. 3 over 2x. Yep, the first part's correct. Minus 6x secant x. That's fine. Negative 3x squared. Yeah. This one's also right. Let's just take a look at number 10 since we're already here. Negative 6x over, that's fine. 5 log. Okay. So they did some simplification. 5 log 2, 3x. That portion's right here. Oh, I see. That 3 and the 5, that's where we didn't do it. So let me just quickly do that. So that's 3 and the 15 go away. So therefore it's going to be... And the x's would also cancel. So we just have a 5 over natural log of 2 plus 5 log 2, 3x plus negative 6 over x to the 4th. There you go. So, you know, always double check. I didn't. Obviously, if this was a test, you would. I was just trying to get this done. Oh, my bad. Let's just take a look at this long, massive one. Okay. At least the bottom's correct. Okay. Let's see. Everything is right. The only thing is, we have the negative 2 in here, and technically it is multiplication, so it should be fine. But I will check in and let you guys know. I'll just write a memo. Should I move? Okay. Let's look at this. 11, 2. Yep, that's fine. Plus x, that's also fine. So we pretty much got all of them right, except, you know, maybe somehow this portion. And moving that 2x. So yeah, I think so far we have really done